my name is Jason Grant and this is my attempt at the Biodiversity log Linux software tool. So you start the program by entering the following command. Once you've entered following command, you are given a welcome message. Welcome messages and exit messages are in pink. If you have a decision to make, it is generally in yellow. If there's an error, it is in red. And if the command is given some sort of a prompt or just a message with a title, it is green. Those are the general, let's say, color themes I have gone with throughout the program. So I also have 5 options for the user when they open up the application. It's add a recording, remove a recording, search for specific data, and email the records to whoever they choose. And first of all, if we type in something that's not here, like 6, gives an error, errors are in red, ask to choose again. Let's go 1 this time. So add, it's in green, it's asking to add a species name. So here it's saying no numbers or special characters, just as a prompt for the user. If we add a special character, so let's say snake, that's going to give an error. So let's put in snake. Now the error code has a specific format it should be in. It should be a letter followed by, a letter followed by 2 numbers, then 4 alphanumeric characters. So if we enter in something wrong, like that, it's going to give an error. But if we enter in the correct format, it accepts the format and it moves on to the next question. So now we're going to put in a date. This is a day, so if we put in something that is not going to exist in the calendar, let's say, format, 45, that's going to give an error. So if we put in something that is 12, we're good. Again, same thing for months and year. I'm just going to put in 6 here, but if you put in something like 13, it's going to give an error, and the same for the year above 2021, and it's going to give an error. We'll put in 2020 here. The email, very similar. It has to have a @ and it has to have .ie. So if we put in something that's just a line of characters, obviously that's not going to give a correct result. Then if we try something that has an @ and a .ie, that accepts it. Now we have put in all the information. It's asking the user, are we okay with all of the entries we have put in? If yes, we add it to the file, and if no, we go back and start again. So for time's sake, I'm going to add it here. So I'm going to click yes. Now it says the entry is added. So we can just check that here. So as we can see there, snake back W. So now we will remove. So go to, this gives me a full list. This is how I've done it. It gives you a full list with a number. And now it's asking, do you want to remove all of them, or do you want to remove a specific entry? We're going to remove a specific entry here. So we're going to type in S. What line number do you want to delete? We're going to say that one we just put in. So that's 16. Now it rewrites the actual list to show you again that has been deleted. So as you can see, 16 is no longer there, so it has been deleted. I might come back 5 times to remove all of them. So now we're asking again, so we'll move on to the next one. It's going to be search. So what species do you want to search for? Let's say in the above we have frog multiple times. So I'll put it in and not case insensitive. So frog here. That shows we get 2 recordings of the frog, and it gives me when, where, and by who the recording was done. If we do that again for something that doesn't exist, or just a line of characters, there are no recordings for this, and asks me again. If we move on to emails, so this is where I have a lot of, I've probably gone in too much in detail into the email side of things. So what records do we want to send? Do we want to send all of them? Do we just want to send a specific record? Do we want to send a record specific to a species, a record specific to the location, a record specific to the date it was recorded on, or the email it was recorded by? So let's say I'll do 2, I'll do all, and I'll do species. So if we choose all, so enter this. Now we are actually writing the email. So all details. It asks who do we want to email it to, so we can choose a specific person here from the list, or we can actually select all of them. I'm going to select all of them here. So now I had to put the emails in a specific order, as in it had to be email, comma, email, comma. So that's one of the nice things I've done in this. I've added an email address list, and now I'm given, now it tells me what email I actually sent. So 2 gives me the address list, subject, all details, message, and the message is in a collimated nice format of. So, and then if we, what else can we show? Obviously, if I quit here, I get closing program to run again, click enter. So if we go back and run it again, I will show you how to remove all. So if we go to remove existing, now I'm actually going to remove it. So if we put, for instance, if we put something in here that isn't an A or an S, 5, it says invalid input. That should be in red. That's another quirk. So it's saying invalid input. So let's try that again. We remove all, and we remove all of them this time. All entries are deleted. And if we now go back to our species details, you can see the file is actually empty now. So let's go back and add some, and I'll show you some of the quirks in my code. So let's say I put in a date that's wrong. So I go to 13th month, which obviously is not going to exist. That gives me an error. If I do that again, case, but in for all of the scripts in the add recording script, I have used if loops, and I've only given the user two chances to enter it correctly. If you do not enter it correctly on the second go, it kicks you out, cancels that recording, and brings you back to the main menu where you can start again, but you've lost what you actually have inputted up to that point. That's definitely a quirk. It's something in hindsight I would go back and I would change it to case status, case functions throughout my whole project rather than using ifs, but that's for a further improvement if I was to do it again. I can show you some more of the functionality when it comes to the email. So that time we emailed all of them, and now we will choose something more specific. So if we go into number 4, and now we did all, now we'll just do the species specific emails. So if we go 3, so again, what's the subject line? Email specific, whatever, it doesn't matter. What species records do you want to send? So, okay, apologies for that. Now I've copied back in some entries into that text file. So if we open that text file, you can see we have, let's for instance, we have multiple frog entries. So if we go back to our script, now we have gone into the species specific records option, and it's now asking us what species do we want to record. So if it has actual duplicates in here, it's going to delete them and get rid of them and only show you the column that exists that has species associated with it. So let's say we want to do frog. So we're going to input 4 here, and it's showing us that it is frog that we've chosen, and there is 2 specific entries for that are listed here. Now who do we want to send that to? So last time we did all, this time we're only going to do 1 email. So we're going to choose the first email, person1 at person.ie. So now we can see that the email is going to be sent. It's going to be sent to person number 1, subject line that we did previously, and the message is those two entries that we chosen that are specific to frog. That concludes my run through. I think I deserve something in the region of 70 to 80% for this project in particular. Great fun doing it. Only a small bit of experience with Linux back in college all those years ago. Had a great time doing it, and yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for listening.